But I know that you also mentioned values.
Mhm.
What what role do they play? Do they come into the job description, or where does that part fit if you are attracting the right players?
Yeah. So values are critical. So players, when we look at players, we want to look at their skill set, right? Can they produce? Because every role, right, we want production, we want some sort of result. But then it's also how they do it that matters too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And values are now the compass for that. And I like to ask my clients to think about what are the top 3 values that you believe determine the best suited employees for your business. So we use values to hire and fire.
Mm-hmm.
And the easiest way to do this is to pick your very bestest person on your team, either now or somebody you don't have now but you used to have. Why are they the bestest ever, right? What is it about them? And look at what the shared values are that you have with that person. You can do this also the opposite. Who has been the worst employee you've ever had and why?
Uh-huh.
And look at where the conflicts are because sometimes we don't know our values until we
Mm.
rub up against them, right? Until they're kind of in contrast to someone. So having your values um, clearly expressed and defined helps you in hiring, but also helps in firing. Now, where does that fit? Um, I help my clients create a team book. And one of those, the first page is your vision, then we do your values, then we do a manifesto. And your values are really about setting the table for people, like you're going to like it here if this is important to you also.
Mm.
And I believe you should have your values as a part of performance reviews, and I think you should do quarterly kind of touches, like assessments. I also think we should be doing a lot more feedback and coaching sessions than people do. That's part of why people's work gets so far away from us, is we're not really connecting. We're talking,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not really doing that coaching feedback loop, which is critical. So, and as an extension of my values, right? Obviously, that's important to me. So, your values are essential. And I do teach my clients this 5-step management process. And that's the second step, is really clarifying what matters to you.
Yeah.
It's essential when you're designing a team.
So I think a lot of people have values, but they kind of like, integrity,
Mm-hmm.
responsibility, blah blah blah. But you should be thinking it from the point of view of, this will determine who I want to hire,
Mm-hmm.
and if those values are broken, that would also be a reason to get rid of someone. So
Yes.
it's not really the values you just think about are your general values.
No, it's really like core values in exchange, like in your work. I think that they are true about you, right? So one of my core values is authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you would find that in every part of my life, but it also is very true in the people I work with. There has to be, and I pick up on it very quickly, if somebody's disingenuous, it's not going to fly in my space. So, thought leadership is something else for me. And what thought leadership is to me is that you take the time to think, that you solve problems, you spearhead them. You're not a dumper of problems, right? I've had those people in my life before. So yeah, I agree. Like there's that list of values, which frankly, I used to use when I worked in corporate. And that's part of why I feel like people have a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to values.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to me, it's a much more, I think, a very inspiring exercise to really investigate this, because your values are they're influencing your decisions anyway. So you might as well get really clear about what they are and tell the truth, right? Like I have a client whose top value is grow or die, right? You can tell right away, like what it would be like to work in her business, right? Other people's value, wealth.
Mm.
Okay, good to know, right? Like I want you to tell me, right? If you want me to drive money into this business and that's the top value, I need
Yeah.
to know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all part of the exercise of
I
that
have
clarity through
responsiveness
design. Lovely. Yeah. So people
because
dropping the
I
ball
cannot
is
work with people that are not responsive. And
mhm.
I have felt the frustration that someone might be great on my team, but the response was not there. I wasn't feeling that, back and forth. And I'm like,
Yep.
you can't be on my team.
No.